Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla and I hope that you're really having a great day and that you're staying safe. So for today's video I'm back after like 2 months or so, or even more. But anyways, I'm back with more content. For today's video I wanted to make something nice for me because I don't know, since I was little I just loved a lot using crayons. I don't know if it's the smell or the texture of them that just bring me back like to my childhood memories, and I just love them a lot. So I decided to give them a go and to actually see if you're able to draw something nice with them. So the thing that I'm going to be doing today is obviously drawing with crayons, but I'm going to be like testing first using like normal colors. I'm going to be using Faber-Castells and Prismacolors, and then later I'm going to be doing the same drawing but with the crayons to see the differences between them. And so I'm really excited to see how all this will end and to see the ending results. And yeah, with all that said, let's get started and let's see how all this ends. And oh, sorry, I forgot. Of course, if you haven't subscribed, then you should go ahead and do it. Give it a like, share, comment down below because I always read those. And yeah, just if you want to stick with me for further more videos, you know, you can give it a try. It's not that hard. But now, with all that said, let's get started. So let's get started. At first, I just wanted to check the different colors that I'm going to be working with. And so for this video, I'm going to be using a 12 set pack of crayons from Crayola. And here I'm just using the different colors. Now this package actually comes with a really good variety of different colors. It comes with black, violet, purple, green, orange, blue, sky blue, brown, yellow, peach, carnation pink, red, and yellow-green. And after trying all of them and testing them, I did realize one thing, and that was that not all of the crayons have the same pigmentation as the others. And in this case it was the carnation pink, the peach, and the yellow. I really needed to press them against the paper to actually get some color out of them, so yeah, that was just a small problem. But other than that, the other colors were really pigmented. In this case, the red is a color that I was really worried that it needed to be pigmented because for this video I'm gonna be making some cherries. But yeah, the other colors worked just fine. So after finishing my sketch, I started with the coloring process, and so this cherry is going to be the one that I'm going to be doing with the color pencils. And I know that at first I mentioned that I was going to be using Faber-Castells and Prismacolors, but I decided to use only one brand, and for this I'm going to be using the Prismacolors. And as always, I really love this brand. It's really easy to use and you can blend the colors like super easily, even if you don't know how to blend colors. It is quite easy to use these kind of colors. So while I'm just finishing with the coloring process of this cherry, I just wanted to mention that I'm really sorry for not being able to upload videos recently, and it's just because I have recently entered college. A few months ago I entered college, and yeah, it's been really crazy to actually being able to find time to record and draw. So I'm really sorry for that, but other than that, I'm just really happy that I was able to finish this video because this was recorded like 5 months ago or so, and I was going through the entering process, and then I got my exams and everything, and it was just kind of crazy exhausting, so I wasn't really able to find the time for these videos. But now that I'm just like getting along with school and everything, I think I'm ready to get back to YouTube. So I'm gonna be trying to upload videos at least like 2 videos a month or so. I'm just gonna be doing my best. But yeah, I'm just super happy that I got to post at least this video for this month. And now getting back to the drawing, in this part I was just doing the leaf and I just actually didn't like it that much. I just felt like it was lacking something, so I just kept adding like lighting and shadows to make everything look a little bit prettier. But I did have some beef with that leaf because it wasn't actually looking as I wanted, but I just kept going because you know you cannot make always everything perfect. But yeah, other than that, the cherry was looking really pretty. And now for the final details, I always like using some liquid paper to use it as lighting. It's just that it's really affordable and you can always layer it on top of your colors and it's always going to show off. So that's like another tip. But yeah, I was really happy of how it ended up looking. You know, I already know the drill with the colors. I know how to use them. Well, I kind of know how to use them. It's really easy to blend with them. You have really good pigmentation, and overall I really love using fabric castles because of the end result. It kind of creates like this waxy feeling almost. But now let's get into the interesting part. I just started doing the sketch for the second cherry. I kind of wasn't really doing it the same way as the first one, but I just kept going and it eventually ended up looking as I wanted it to look. Now for this cherry, one of my initial thoughts was it's gonna be difficult, you know, because I haven't really ever used crayons to draw something kind of realistic, and I don't know how the texture is going to be because it has been like a while since I last held up a crayon. But I just started because if I didn't, then this drawing wasn't going to be made. I just selected a few colors because I knew that I wasn't gonna be really able to blend them, and yeah, that truly happened. I tried blending them and it wasn't just really happening. They kind of create this wax layer every time you use them, so if you try to put another color top, it's just not going to happen as it would happen with any other kind of color, you know? But you know, there's always a solution to these kind of problems. I did realize that the black and the brown were colors that you were actually able to kind of layer each color on top of them because they were always kind of showing off. It was not a perfect way to blend them, but it actually did work to make the shadows or to add a little bit more lighting or contrast. I also realized that crayons leave a lot of like residual, you know, you kind of press them and some small bits of the crayon are gonna fall off. And to get rid of them, I decided that I would use my hand, and that was such a bad idea because I was kind of doing it really harsh, so I just ended smearing everything. But yeah, you know, you cannot really erase it with an eraser. I know, I was in a dilemma with that, it was just really my fault. I also started using a ruler to kind of try to take off some of the wax layers that I did. It actually kind of helped. Once I did unscrape like the top layer, I was able to put another color on top. And so if you're trying to do the same thing and draw with colors, then I totally recommend using a ruler to kind of scrape off the excess of the wax, so it's just gonna be a little bit easier. At least I feel like it actually did help me. And for the lighting, I was really worried because of course I didn't have any white crayon to use and I wasn't gonna be able to blend any of the colors. So for this, I just decided to really draw in a really soft way so I wouldn't leave a lot of pigmentation with them. I also used for the final detailing once again the liquid paper because it wasn't going to be fair that I used it on the first one and not in the second one, but just look at that, the results are actually kind of impressive. Of course, you can really notice some differences between them. For example, with the second cherry that was made with the crayons, you can see that they just look a little bit more rough, so it doesn't have like that clean look to it, but I actually kind of dig that messy look of it. You can also notice that there are some spaces that are lacking some color, but overall I just really like how it looks. Of course, there are different materials and are gonna look different, but I feel like you can truly make a lot of things using crayons. So overall, I'm giving this experience a solid 8 out of 10. And well, this is because it's just really hard to blend with crayons. Obviously, they create like this wax layer on top of everything that you're coloring or drawing, and you're really not able to put another color on top of them, so blending is kind of difficult. Also, another thing that I didn't like, but I feel like it was more my fault, it was the thing that, you know, whenever you're drawing on something, obviously there's gonna be small pieces of the material that is gonna be falling, and in this case it was a lot, and
I didn't thought, honestly, it was so stupid of me, but I kept swiping it up with my hand, and instead of removing it, I was just like kind of spreading everything around the drawing and just getting it stained, so it was that my fault. But yeah, it just drops a lot of like residual material, if you want to call it that way, that I really didn't like. But of course you can probably just wipe it off properly, not like me just being savage. But yeah, I just really didn't like that part, but I feel like that's just being me dumb. But of course, I do believe that just like with any other kind of art material that you use for drawing or painting or whatever, if you work hard enough with them and get familiarized with them, you can find ways to improve them and make your art pieces or artwork better. So I do believe that you're capable of obviously improving so much more with crayons. Just like me, it was the first time that I was attempting to do something like this. And now for the good things, they're really affordable. They're super cheap and you can find it basically in any store, in any Walmart, or in any place that sells school supplies near you, so that's awesome. And because of this, if you're starting in the marvelous world of art, then it's gonna be great, because it's something that sometimes many people are worried about, because you don't know if you're actually gonna like this kind of stuff and you don't want to spend too much money on them. Of course, there are supplies that are really worth it to pay for that amount of money, but I do feel, for starters, if you want to start with something more affordable and nicer and I don't know, just easy on the hand, crayons are an amazing option. You just have to know that of course there are things that are gonna be harder to do with them, but that's just like with any other thing. Once you get used to them, it's probable that you're gonna be able to do many things with them. Also, they're really pigmented, so that's amazing, because at the first try that you use them, you're gonna get a gorgeous layer of color, and that's great, because sometimes when it happens when you buy really cheap things, when talking about art, they really do not, they lack pigmentation. That's like a huge problem. When you buy like cheaper colors or cheaper paints, sometimes that's a thing that tends to happen, that the pigmentation is just not there. But for these pretty crayons, it wasn't like that. The pigmentation was there and it was really pretty. Of course, it was just like 2 colors on this pack that I just really didn't like how they ended up looking, because I just feel like they weren't actually there, so that's the only thing that I can say. So after saying all of that, I'm concluding today's video, and I hope that you really enjoyed it. And if you have stuck with me till the end, then why not subscribing, giving it a like, share, comment down below, because I always read those. And if you want to get notified whenever I upload a video, you can just go ahead and click that notification bell. And yeah, I'm gonna be also putting and linking down there my social accounts. I'm also gonna be putting here my Instagram account if you want to check those out. I always upload like the final pictures of the drawings or anything that I'm doing here, so if you want to check those out, that's amazing. And with all that said, I hope that you really enjoyed today's video and just stick with me for furthermore. And with all that said, I love you all. Bye, see you later, because I don't know whenever I'm gonna upload a new video.